Lachlan Galvin, you've heard the news, folks. He's set to sign a 3.5-year deal to join the Bulldogs immediately. The 19-year-old's release from the West Tigers is expected to be fast-tracked. And I said this on Friday, and Jimmy backed it up today, which
Bruce.
$165,000 transfer fee. Why?
Yeah. Okay, so I reckon this is what I was thinking about the same thing. That's what's owing on his contract.
But it's not enough.
No, I agree. I agree totally. It's not enough. They could probably ask for 500 and the Bulldogs are paid.
Of course they would.
But that 165.
No, I know what you're saying. That's like a pro rata amount for what they've paid probably or something.
Yeah.
So they're saying, we've paid him already this and we're not going to have him for the year, so we want that back.
Yep, that's right. But the Dogs, I mean, the Tigers could have, you got to get more than that.
There's two clubs there. You could have gone whatever you like. Anyway, because it's outside the cap. So I totally agree with Jimmy, totally agree with me. 1300 01 1170. Canterbury were right in the mix. I actually thought, I probably got it wrong. I thought Parramatta would have been.
That's the most obvious choice.
Yeah,
they need a 6.
Yep.
They need a 6 for next year. Bulldogs, they're stacked. So, all the talk is Toby Sexton hasn't re-signed for next year.
Yep.
So it looks like he probably will have to go elsewhere. But then there's talk about Reid Marnie.
Yep.
They're trying to move Reid Marnie on. I don't know what signing Lachlan Galvin is going to do to not have a hooker there.
You know what I kind of feel like, Brian? Like, it's so hard, rugby league, and it's, to get yourself in a premiership window, which clearly the Dogs are in right now, and there is no guarantee you'll be in the same window next year. So you kind of think, okay, well, if 5 years, 10 years down the track, and Serraldo has or hasn't won a premiership, does he look back and go, oh, we were that close, we just needed someone like a Galvin to get it done, and they didn't do it, which they now have done that. Do you feel like it's a play they had to do? Could they have won the comp as is?
Look, I think Lachlan Galvin is a terrific player.
Yep.
But I don't think that he is going to be one of those X-factor players. Like Toby Sexton obviously has done a great job.
Yep.
Don't know whether the Bulldogs are quite happy with his running game. That's the only thing I'm thinking of. Do you play Lachie Galvin at 7? Because there's talk they're going to move Crichton back to fullback. I think that's ridiculous. He's the best centre in the competition.
Yeah.
You're weakening one position.
I don't think they'll do that. I reckon that's scuttlebutt. I think it's going to be just in for in. So joining the dots, it does feel like Galvin's just coming straight in for Sexton, which if Sexton is to get dropped over the next month.
Huge pressure on Galvin.
Mate, he would be the first player, halfback, in the history of the game, in my opinion, who hasn't got a Ricky Stewart or somebody injured behind them coming back.
Yeah.
He'd have to be the first player in history to lead his side halfway through the comp as a halfback and get dropped.
Yeah.
Would you agree with that?
Oh, I do agree with that. And I don't know, are they going to upset this current team? This is the danger. But if they didn't sign the Bulldogs didn't sign him, they might miss out on him, and then he's going to Parramatta. So he's a great player. Potentially, he could be a game-winning X-factor player. But at the moment, I feel that they're going so good. Maybe he comes off the bench, Galvin. But you're not going to pay $700,000 for a bench player, are you?
No. So, okay, Phil Gould said this. We still haven't closed off on a deal yet, and there are still some things that have got to be worked out with the West Tigers. I would hope that in the next 48 hours we have far greater clarity. But Lachlan, to his credit, has come out and said his preference was the Dogs, so we'll try and accommodate that, Phil Gould said. So if you had the crystal ball and I said, righto, September, everyone's fit at the Bulldogs, Brian, where is Gal? What jumper is he wearing?
7.
He's wearing 7.
I feel he's a 7.
He'll be on the bench for a couple of weeks, won't he?
You would think so.
Yeah.
Just to feel him out.
Yep. And they've got a bit of an injury crisis, so there's reason why you could put him on the bench.
Yeah, but when they're full strength, I don't know. I don't know how you're going to fit them all in. Next year, yes, I understand. Toby Sexton won't be there. But this year, he's done a terrific job. I feel sorry for Toby Sexton.
Yeah. Well, it often kind of works itself out. You put him on the bench for a few weeks, something will happen. And it'll just all fall into... That's what happens. That's this game of rugby league. Intriguing fixtures coming up. Round 14, they take on the Eels. Of course, he could have been an Eel. In that very game, he could have been an Eel at Accor Stadium. That's round 14. And then, of course, round 22... particularly if the Tigers are still in the hunt.
Oh, wouldn't this be a good game?
West Tigers at CommBank Stadium. So, and by the way, the replacement for Galvin Will that be the man who's gone into camp for New South Wales? Adam Dewey?
Adam Dewey.
Yeah, will he go straight back with Luai?
Don't know.
That'd be fascinating.
When's Fainu? Fainu, I think he's pronounced it.
Yeah. Latu Fainu. Yeah, he could be there.
He had the broken thumb. The Adam Reynolds thing's gone quiet, hasn't it?
Well, they reckon he'll stay at the Broncos
next year. Yeah.
Yeah. Riddle me this, Batman. Just we are coming up. There'll be a shock announcement, and I don't know what it is. I don't have any insight, but there'll be a shock announcement over the next month with a trade. Right? It's what happens on June 30. Would or could this happen? Could we see a loan switch Jamal Fogarty and Daly Cherry Evans? Ricky Stewart to say, listen, Daly, come down here and win us a comp.
No.
And Jamal Fogarty to go to the club where he signed on.
No way.
Why?
No.
Why couldn't it happen?
Because Jamal's going better. He fits that team better than Daly Cherry Evans.
So Ricky wouldn't even ask that, is what you're saying?
No way.
Really?
No way. No.
To go to that next level?
No.
Okay.
No.
All right. 1300 01 1170, the run home with Joel and Fletch.
You're off your head.
And the NRL news. And you just get the sense, June 30, so we've got the best part of a month to go before teams can sneak in their transfers mid-season. Well, it's all about to fire up, folks. Let's do this.
It's an NRL news update. Thanks to Rogers Willex, trailer air brake axles, suspensions and couplings.
Yeah, had a few texts around this one, folks. And let's start with this one. Via foxsports.com.au, the Bulldogs have given hooker Reid Marnie permission to start talking to rival clubs in a move that could see him leave the club this year. Canterbury see rising star Bailey Hayward as their long-term hooker and had indicated to Marnie that he would not be offered a new deal. That prompted Marnie's management to ask permission to talk to rival clubs, and foxsports.com.au can reveal Bulldogs General Manager Phil Gould granted that permission in writing late last week. Gould's only proviso was that former captain Marnie keeps the club in the loop with offers on the table before they sign anything, Brian.
Oh, derail.com.au.
It goes one or two ways,
Yeah, it does.
it?
It either, I don't want to use the word, galvanised, or, it's going the other way.
Implosion, one of the two, hey.
He is quite a popular man in the team.
Yep.
Reid Marnie.
Yep.
I've seen that when we interview the Bulldogs. They all get around him.
Yep.
This is a tough one. This is a tough one. Unless they can all work together and they put Galvin on the bench.
Yeah.
So keep it as is. Like, this is for 2026.
Okay, before you comment...
2025.
Yeah, but let's go a little bit further because there's other news as well. We'll go back to that Reid Marnie thing because there's a lot of blanks to fill here. Toby Sexton, this is according to Peter Bedell and the full package, which is whom? Carianis.
MC.
In the Daily Telegraph. The full package and Bomber Bedell report this through the Daily Telegraph. Sexton set to quit the Bulldogs in the wake of Lachie Galvin's imminent move to Canterbury. Now, just hold fire for a second here, folks. Toby Sexton is set to quit Canterbury at season's end in the wake of Lachlan Galvin signing with the Bulldogs. So you can understand this, right? Because... it just makes sense, doesn't it? If they're going to pick up Galvin, it makes sense for him, who they hadn't signed already. So that's where that lands. They've got young Mitchell Woods in the background there, who was in the 21 last week. So he's clearly close as well.
But that's for next year. So that's not going to ruffle any feathers.
No, so according to what's been reported, Bomber Bedell and the full package in the Daily Telegraph, they're saying that at Sexton for next year. Foxsports.com.au are talking about Reid Marnie potentially for this year.
For now, For now. Because that would make young Bailey Hayward to 9, and that leaves a spot on the bench. Galvin slots in. You keep Sexton at 7 and Burton at 6.
So how does it play out, Sione? For now.
Tony for now.
Yeah.
For now, Galvin is on the bench.
Right. And what do you think happens with Reid Marnie?
I don't think he'll get a club this year.
Oh, of course he would.
I don't think he'll get a club.
Who could pick him up? Like, who do you think? You wouldn't waste the money unless you had him long term.
Yes.
For this year, if you weren't in the mix. What about Glory?
Well, they got the cheese, and Peter Mamazoulis is coming back.
Yeah.
He dislocated elbow.
Mm-hmm. Tigers don't need it. They've got Appy and Talon de Silva. Cowboys have got Robson, but he's going, so maybe long term you
Reid
get Reid.
Marnie, he's a Queenslander. That's a good fit.
Yep.
Chooks don't need him.
Dolphins,
Jerry
maybe.
Marshall King.
Dolphins,
yeah.
maybe.
But what's he on?
Sea Eagles.
Is he on 700? What's
Not
he
quite
on?
sure. He's on contract till the end of 2026.
All right.
I
so
don't know the dosh, but he and Connor Tracy off at the end of next year.
the dosh is, it just say he's on 700.
Right.
There's 350 left. Not many clubs have got 350 in their cap without moving a player. So if a club wants him, they're going to have to move one of their own.
It is moving season.
It's heavily
600K they're saying.
600. So it's 300 odd.
Yep.
They'd have to have in their cap unless they can move a player on of similar value.
Yeah.
But then, as I mentioned before, you can see he is quite a popular member of the team. Is that going to upset the rest of
Played
the
the grand
apple
final.
cart?
What about the tourists? So we get our sources right, and we always like to credit our sources. foxsports.com.au, Bomber Badell, the full package, and it says here, Reed Mahoney on 600,000 via Google. Oh, come on,
I can't
Brooks.
let him take that one.
That's
It was
not mine,
me.
yeah.
No, well, we did do a search on Google. It was the AI. You know, the AI pops up and goes, "Hey guys, were you asking for Reed Money?" Well,
Should I go to Claude?
It's basically Claude. Should
Should I
I
go to
just put
Claude?
Claude
Ask
in there?
Claude.
Do you want me to ask Claude?
Yeah, ask Claude what he's on.
All right, let me just get
Okay.
that.
While you're Clauding, I feel derailed.com / .au / Canterbury Bankstown.
Underscore horseshoe ring.
Is he dunked too hard?
I think he's done too much.
I think he's dunked too much.
I feel he's gone a bit
Thank
too
you very
heavy.
much.
I think he's got a bit too heavy on the soy mix of the sriracha, and it
the
could
Jeffrey.
repeat on him. It could repeat on him.
Can I just say on Claude, earlier today, Jimmy Smith mentioned, before the show, was speaking to Kat, who was in here earlier, and said, "Oh yeah, just ask Claude." And she went, "What's Claude?"
Hang on, stand by.
It's a thing old guys use.
Here we go. Hi, Claude. How many spring rolls does Gus Gould eat at Canterbury Bankstown Yumcha on a Sunday? Let's have a look.
Claude, come on.
Claude, I don't have any information about Gus
Come
Gould
on,
or his
Claude.
spring roll consumption habits at Canterbury Bankstown on Yum Sunday. This seems like a very specific question about
mate.
a particular person or restaurant that I wouldn't have data about. Are you perhaps referencing something specific, like a story, local joke, or personal anecdote? Or is it something else I can help you with?
I'll tell you what, a former stablemate of his at the Roosters back in the early 2000s knows the answer, Brian.
47.
Yeah, 47, you reckon?
Yeah.
Well, he's trimmed up a bit, Gussie.
He has.
He's trimmed up. He
has.
used to have a shocking diet. He should just hammer the Coca-Cola.
Yeah. Not a big drinker, though, is he, Gus?
No. But he like a bit of a bourbon.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. This is 30 years ago.
Yeah. When were you on the dance floor with him?
96. I was out of the club. I was gone. Dead. Gone.
That saved you, didn't it?
I was just backing up to him, just doing the...
100% hits volume 34 going.
What song was playing?
I'm pretty sure it was Corona. Is it another night, another dream? Yeah, and I'm just going back. And Gus turned around. Gus had his bandana on that he always has that he wore. And,
Just doing the robot on the dance floor.
believe it or not, he used to like to dance. Is this it? Yeah, it was Gus.
Just squatting like a load of the...
Well, he used to love sitting on the footy at training.
Oh, yeah, I could have been...
Yes. So that was Big Gus's go. You get the footy in front of you and goes, come on.
So bring it in.
And push, just sit down on it. And then look in your eyes. Is it like that? Yeah. Hang your wrist up, ready to go at half
that's
time.
great.
Just ready to go. Just looking at that ring just glistening off the fluorescent light.
Oh, that's wonderful stuff. All right, just before we get off this subject of the doggies, they have tied up to the end of 2027. Bailey Hayward's been locked until then. Matt Burton's been locked into the end of 2027, and young Mitchell Woods. So the Connor Tracy, Reed Mahoney off contract next year. This year, the main ones to stitch up. Toby Sexton, it appears he's gone, of course, based on that article by Bomber and the full package. Kurt Mann is still on the books, according to those
Google.
of Google. Google's come to the rescue again. Jamin Salmon.
Upstream?
Jamin Salmon is going to be one. He's played a great season, Jamin Salmon.
Yeah.
So there you go. There you go, folks.
The Kurt Mann thing, getting a bit of origin action.
Yep.
That's going to boost the price, son, isn't it?
Yeah, that'll tell us the price, son, for sure.
Oh, okay.
Like
yeah.
going to market.
Yep.
Isn't he 18th man?
Yeah, but at least he's in the... I'm not saying he's playing, but I'm just saying being selected in that realm, surely other teams are going to be going after someone like that.
Oh, of
Multiple
course,
positions.
Of course, but unless
It's going to be tough for the Dogs to keep him. That's why probably Sexton and Mahoney
Yeah.
Like long term in terms of keeping that 30.
I'd like to.
I know where he's going to go. Red money.
Oh,
I was going to say, would he go to the Roosters?
No, you got Robson.
No,
Connor
I'm
Watson.
saying would he go there for
Loan.
this year?
Oh, now.
Yeah. Did you see that?
Well, no cheese.
Yeah.
Dom's definitely going.
Yeah. They're going to have
The
space,
Dom-
right?
So they
oh,
go.
always got space.
Yeah. But
Well-
that would mean less time for Connor there. But do you reckon they'd do that?
Sammy Walker coming back.
He's living down in the Shire,
Yeah, I don't think the location matters.
doesn't it? Convenience.
Is he a Rooster player? Is he a Roosters? Is it the Roosters way?
Is it the Roosters way?
You know that one? I'll have to ask Gordon. Well, there is some money available.
Interesting.
Always
Very,
is.
Very
interesting.
interesting. All right, tourists, let's move on. All righty, let's start with the Canberra Raiders, Brian. Big win, 16-10 over the Warriors. Their first loss in New Zealand in 2025. So that's 2 wins this year for the Raiders over the Warriors. One in Vegas, of course. And this Raiders side now join the Canterbury Bankstown Bulldogs with 9 wins at the top of the ladder, Brian.
Yeah, impressive win. Joey Tarpany just took it to him.
Yep.
It's hard playing over there, especially the fans and it's slippery. But Joey Tarpany, there was a moment something went wrong. I think one of the young forwards dropped the ball and they were saying challenge, and then he just said something at the scrum. I don't know what he said. He said something to his players. He turned and then they just got behind him, and he had an awesome game. Took it to him, and with all that pace out wide, they are gaining confidence every week.
Yeah.
This Canberra side, aren't they?
Yeah, very good side. Haven't we got some front rowers
Yeah.
these days like Tarpany and Haas and world class too? Like
Yep. It was a good game.
Tino.
That was the best game of the round.
Yep.
It was in the balance there right to the end. Warriors wouldn't have lost any admirers over that. It was a tough game. It was a real semi-final like atmosphere with all the big crowd and how they were getting into each other. So, and those two teams will be there come September.
Ricky Stewart, like Serraldo will be put forward, and should be, because he's a very good coach, doing a wonderful job. Ricky Stewart's Raiders, they were the best back for the spoon.
Yeah.
So as far as outperforming crowd sentiment, it's unbelievable what they've achieved. They are absolutely
we're
flying.
only halfway through.
Yeah, but
This is the
they
thing.
they don't look like they're about to fall off a cliff, do they?
No, not at all.
No.
In fact, they're going the other way.
Yep.
The young players are now. Did you see young Tamale at full time?
No.
Oh, he was giving it to the crowd. I'd like to know what was going
Was
on.
he?
Oh, it was epic.
Savelio.
Yeah.
Excellent. 16-10, they win that game. All right, what about this one?
Yeah.
Roosters 42. And by the way, the Beak was here. And I don't know if he said this on air or off air, but he said, I think these first 4 outsiders can win.
Yeah.
And I said, whack it on the feed, the Sportsbet feed. He did at 76-1 or something like that. They all did win. If you took all those 4 same selections, 13 plus, 4,250-1.
Yeah. Well, the Beasto cashed
Oh,
out.
yuck.
Sorry, Beasto, I'm going to tell you. He took the 4 outsiders
Mm,
and then doubled down, got the cash out,
yep.
and took the team like most people, went, the Roosters can't beat.
So took the certain winnings.
Took the cash out
Oh,
and went right, then loaded up. We had it already, had the chooks, all the outsiders.
he had to do nothing.
Nothing.
That's all he had to do.
Took the cash out and put it on the Cronulla minus 10.5. Sorry, Beasto.
Oh, yuck.
We get that sometimes.
Yep, 42-16. The Roosters, wow, haven't they found some form in the last month or so? Halves have been on fire, so the question now is, what do they do with DCE? Well, according to the listeners, you don't do a swap, Fogarty for DCE, that's for sure. Tedesco's flying. Geez, he's had a good 2 years, James Tedesco. Mark.
Oh,
He's his own funky bunch. He's flying.
just give him the ball and he'll do
Yep.
something. It was, I did not see this coming. Look, the Sharks were off the
Yep.
pace, but it was nothing to do. I mean, the Roosters just came out of the blocks. The young, enthusiastic players, which you feel that sometimes, that's when I was watching the game, I was thinking, geez, they've got out to a lead here, but these young blokes, they could switch off, but they didn't. It was, as you mentioned, both halves were great. Savala's kicking game was just pinpoint accuracy. Just too much energy for him. And
Yep.
I think Fitzy came out and just said, maybe we were just still living off what we did last week against the Storm.
Yep, that's a fair call too. Hale KL. Iro scored in each of his... He hasn't missed. Kale Iro's played 8 games and has notched up a try in every single game. Speaking of tries, very clever coaching from Robbo because they had Atkinson on the wing, didn't they, the Sharks? No, sorry, Morini Hiroti.
Hiroti, and they just, Toops just, Weird Harold just got up high twice, bang, straight over.
Deja Tupu. They just kicked him twice, exactly the same tries. So well done. They're concerns for the Sharks, not for me, Brian. Do you think?
This year is so hard to. You got to be up for every single game.
Correct. It's not the English Super League where you're just going to turn up half-hearted and still win.
It's one of the most even. I think this is the most even year we've had so far.
Yep.
Round 13.
Yep.
And I don't know how many tips you got last week.
I got one, I think.
Yeah,
1 or 2.
It was. And all those people playing at home, I'm sure that you sometimes you just got to take the George Costanza. You like tuna on rye. You want a chicken salad.
That's
right.
right.
Remember when he started doing that?
Yeah, what was that called? That was called the Bizarro rant. Was it Bizarro?
No, he just went totally opposite.
Yes.
And he was trying to tune this woman in the diner.
That's right.
And he goes, I'm George. I'm 35 and balding and live at home with my mum. And this lady goes, hello, George.
That's
so
right.
It's working for him.
It is. Eels 30. Hello, George there. Seagulls 10. Oh, who would you say are the teams with the most potential, who are the most unreliable? Manly have to be in that conversation.
Cowboys are in there.
Cowboys are in that conversation.
I love watching the Eels.
Yep.
They are so exciting to watch. Sometimes, I mean, they're going to make errors, but their attack, Rolsey I know Nathan Brown's there as well.
Yeah.
But the last month of footy,
Yep.
like he's culled all those players. Like he came out and he said, we don't want you, Gutho. So Bryce Cartwright's gone, or he's still there, but Ryan Madison, he's just put all these young kids. I think, you talk about Ricky Stewart being being a coach of the year. If Eels can slip into the 8, this is huge for Rolsey. I reckon they could.
Yeah, with Moses coming back. Fascinating game on the weekend. So you're going to have the New South Wales halves will be asked to back up against each other in a must-win game.
Yes, yeah.
Moses versus... So they could come off as a win, high-five and cuddling each other a few days later against each other in a must-win.
Yeah.
Moses versus Cleary.
It'd be huge if they do make that. Obviously, there's a long way to go, but the way they're playing in attack, I really like what they're doing. And the kid at the back, I think it's Yongi.
Yeah.
It's not Yongi, is it?
It's Yongi, I think.
Yongi.
Yeah, Yongi.
He's a player.
He's a gun. And young Papali'i, Joash. Is he Papali or Papali'i? Papali'i.
And Sam Rani. Oh, it's Papali'i.
He's Papali. He's
Okay.
Papali, yeah.
But
He
same
is
spelling?
Joash Papali. Yeah, same spelling.
What about our man, Jordan Samrani?
Yeah.
He's giving me Kiraz vibes.
Is he? Yeah.
Like just unassuming and can break tackles.
Yep.
He's a back rower.
Yep.
Playing in the centres.
Panthers are on the bottom of the ladder after a loss to Newcastle 25-6. Fletcher Sharp, holy dooly. Dylan Lucas, holy dooly.
Yeah. Matty Johns, we've got to give Matty Johns a shout out. Matty last week said, Dylan Lucas, I'm going to back him 3 tries.
I know, he went too early.
He didn't play, did he?
He went too early, and then he's come up this week with a hat trick.
Could have scored 4.
It looked like a game. The computer games the kids play, and they get that sort of
the boost.
The boost.
Yeah.
He was playing with the boost.
He's a boosty.
Oh, mate, he loves playing out of Bathurst, that's for sure. Speaking of that, Ben G on the Knights had this to say on Instagram.
Fletcher Sharp, he came from the Cessnock Goannas. He's flying with his hectic mullet. Him and his good mate Dylan Lucas.
Oh, Betty G on the vent line. Not too bad, but look, this is the original. The original.
Fletcher Sharp, he came from the Cessnock Goannas. He's flying with his hectic mullet. Him and his good mate Dylan Lucas.
Can we
Yeah, we're plagiarising Matty Burton.
Yeah, can we have the Matty Burton one? Is that?
Have we got the Matty Burton?
Matt Burton, he came from Penrith through the Bulldogs. It's frightening with him and Jacob Kiraz. There's nobody else like Matty Burton.
Now, can we have the...
Matt Burton, he came...
Can we now have the Waratahs team song, please? When the mighty Waratahs...
I remember when I lost my mind.
Yes. Thank you, Gwen.
Get on you, Gwen.
As we go to the break, a shout out to the man they call Nilso. What's new in the castle? That's his handle on Instagram. And what he has committed to do this year, folks, he has committed to run a kilometre for every point beaten on the weekend for his team, the Knights. And so far, the Titans, that was 20 kilometres. Round 5, the Dogs, 20 kilometres. Tigers, round 6, 16 kilometres. Round 7, the Sharks, 20 kilometres. The Wars in round 8, 14 kilometres. The Titans, 4 kilometres after a big lead. And in round 11, the Eels, 22 kilometres. He has notched up for the Knights, 116 kilometres, but not this week, Nil. So rest up, mate, because your side, the Knights, have had a big, big win with Sharpie, Sharpie, Sharpie. Amy Drew with the news, Brian.
Sorry, can he use them like as
Credit?
points? Yeah,
No,
credit
no,
points?
he
No,
can't.
no.
He can't. Dolphins, they smashed the Storm,
Yep.
and they've smashed the Dogs. Any concerns for the Dogs?
Dogs just don't like the wet, do they? The Broncos put
no.
40 on them as well.
Yep.
It's sort of the last couple of weeks, they look, the starts have been pretty bad.
Yep.
I think this was a lot of injuries and those Origin players missing. Every team goes through a flat period.
Yeah.
This might be the beginning of theirs.
Yeah, and players sometimes want an excuse, right? And they've played in some big crowds, big events, the Dogs. You turn up, it's raining, there's no one there, your captain's not there. It kind of feels like they got the bye, haven't they, this week? So you've got the bye coming up.
It was 20 to 10, and they called that forward pass right in the line. I can't remember who was it, Moran? Who?
Yeah.
Anyway, they called it back. That would have got them to 2016. Might have given them a little bit of a boost, but then they went down the other end.
They needed a bit of cheese on the trap, didn't they?
They
just
did,
to stay interested.
and they just couldn't. I mean, they did everything right. The Dolphins in the wet.
Yep. Struddies, rising star. Struddies, look good, feel good, and play your best for Struddies. Our rising star contributions and thoughts go to who, Brian? Who caught your eye for the young punks?
Who was good? You know who I'm going to give mine to?
Yep.
Now, he's been around. He's been around for a little while, but he hasn't played that many games. Dean Hawkins.
Oh, yeah.
So he was at South for forever and a day. Didn't really get a crack there. I think he's only played 4 games this year.
Footy Dean.
It was great to see him lay on, get 4 try assists. His kicking game was really good. So happy for him. So I'm going with Dino.
Dino. Okay, Dean Hawkins is your nomination for Struddies. For me, I just want to throw out, because it's such a hard task to play first grade, and they give a debut for the Knights to Paul Bryan, right? So he gets that announcement. He's going to be playing. It was a popular elect because all the team got around him. First tackle, he gets injured, doesn't he?
Yeah. Pops his shoulder.
Pops
His shoulders comes out but puts it back in.
Yeah.
Tough kid.
Yeah, tough kid. So I thought that was worth a shout-out. And another bloke who's worth a shout-out playing tough, Kurt Donahue.
Yeah.
That was a bad break, wasn't it?
Snapped the bugle and got back out and scored a try at the death.
Yep. So there you go. Dean Hawkins, Footy Dean, 4 try assists. So that was outstanding for him. And there's our nominations there. And Paul Bryan dislocated his shoulder in his first tackle, put it back in himself after a couple of more tackles.
What about notable mention, Xavier Ava?
Yeah, scores a try on debut as well.
Ava.
And so well done to all those youngsters getting out there around that info via NRL Physio. So for Paul Bryan, dislocated his shoulder, popped it back in, went out again, and he played for a period of the second half. So brave stuff. We've got the Rat representing Sats and Rat this afternoon. Matthew Rogers, how are you?
Oh, I'm good, boys. What's happening?
No, I'm just about to send you some VB tissues.
Oh, you're kidding, aren't you?
Yeah.
I've got them set up, ready to go, mate. They'll be arriving on Thursday morning, my friend.
You know you can do that. So
Yeah.
Rat and I are the ambassadors for VB tissues. So if you want to get on, you've got to pre-register.
Do you?
You do.
VB.
Before the game.
Limited edition.
Yeah, there's only, I
Yep.
can't say how many's there, but
Oh.
vbtissues.com.au. Register and then full-time siren, boom. You'll get notification. You can go send them to your filthy Queensland mates.
Yes. Yeah, well, mate, you might need a packet, Joel. I'll send some down to you.
Okay, thank you, mate.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah. What's your take, boys? The game on Wednesday. I'm looking at some news coming out of the New South Wales camp. Crichton limping off training.
we're buggered.
Haas not training.
We're busted.
It sounds like Queensland. Are you trying to take a leaf out of the Queenslanders' book?
When's the flu
'Cause we've
land?
been very quiet up here.
No, you haven't. You came out. You did a beauty. Look at this. I was just reading this before about the hammer.
Oh, the hammer. It wasn't even news.
No, it wasn't even news,
No.
but this made it. Maroons received a scare on Sunday when the hammer suffered a knock at training and briefly sat out the session to be assessed by the medicos. He copped a knock to the knee after colliding with a Sunshine Coast rival in an opposed session, but after leaving the field, he later returned to complete some extras.
What a non-story that is.
Non-story.
So he left the field to get a drink of water, really, and then returned. Like, fair dinkum.
we'll be right.
Well, we're not the ones. We're not playing it up. We're not. I mean, he's just going through the motions. Got little niggles, going off, come back. We're not the ones writing the story.
No,
Some journo is. They're trying to make something out of nothing.
Yeah.
But how like what? You guys are concerned about Crichton? I mean,
No.
carrying that groin injury. I mean,
No,
you've got a
it's
fairly handy replacement if he does sit out in Campbell Graham.
No, it's a quad now. It's not the
Oh,
groin.
is it a quad?
Yeah, he's busted. He probably won't even run. So
Really? Oh no, I'm talking about Crichton.
yeah, which one? Angus or Stephen?
Stephen.
So, yeah, Stephen's got the quad. It's a quad in. You got to cork. You got to keep
Oh,
up.
really?
You got to keep up with the
Jeez.
with the
Jeez.
news.
Oh right, okay.
Where's Hairy Knuckles, by the way?
He's talking to our friends over in NZ.
Ah, right.
Why
Yeah.
now? Why did you move it? We've been locked in for 5:30 since we've started this
Oh, of course.
cross. Why now at 4:45 you decide to change it up?
Well, I mean, I was just asleep on the couch. I just got woken up because you guys changed it. We didn't move anything.
Oh, was it you, Brooks? Oh, Brooksy's caught out. You fibber.
Now, Rat, I caught up with Rat
yeah.
yesterday. Now, what would make a great show?
Yeah.
You know how they say comedians in cars?
Yes.
Drive this bloke anywhere, story after story after story.
Rat.
Oh, mate,
Give us something
that
at the
would
airport.
blow up. If we told some of those stories in the car.
Oh no, we got to be a bit careful.
Oh,
sure.
mate, I understand, but geez, it'd be a good yarn.
Well, I got a text from him saying, and there was no photo.
No.
It said, "Do you remember this?"
right.
Oh, didn't I send the
He
photo?
didn't send the photo. I'm going, what the hell's he on about? That was all he
right.
said.
What was it?
Well,
I went and did a lunch on Friday out in a little town called Gunning, about an hour out of Canberra. Geez, it was tough to get there. My planes got cancelled and all sorts of stuff. Yeah, you can click that button. I made my way out there, but Fletch and Mahoney did it the year before.
who was it for?
It's from like a mental health sort of thing, just it's just like country men. They're trying to build like a health facility,
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it was in that. Was it in a little?
like a stable, old
Yes.
stable.
Yeah,
they've done
that
it.
was a good
Yeah.
day.
What was
Yeah, yeah.
what was the feedback on Hindy and Fletch?
It was mixed. I won't tell you what I got told. Fletch called her when he got up and spoke. They love their sheep down there. They've got a lot. It's sheep country.
Yeah, I think I
And Fletch, Fletch.
Didn't go down well?
Oh, well, a few of them thought it was hilarious. There's a few that they're still looking for him.
What's the? What do you say?
Please some of the people some of the time, Brian.
Yeah, what's the rule? 80-20.
Yeah, put it that principle.
Yeah.
Yeah, I tell you who was there last year. Was Fergo there? You know, the newsreader Fergo? Was he there?
Yes.
Yeah, and he's doled up to the nines.
Really?
Yeah, looked a treat.
Looks a real treat.
Was he the host?
Yeah.
No, he was just in the
No,
audience.
Who was hosting it?
He was a mate. Oh, just one of the locals.
Yeah.
A great bunch of guys. It was 160 blokes.
Yeah.
And, mate, it started at 11. Apparently, you blokes got out of there at 3 p.m. I was still there at 11 p.m. It started at 11 a.m.
Yeah.
And they were trying to get
boy.
me to do the goanna pull with a belt around my neck. There's no chance I'm doing
Oh,
that.
yes.
This big hooer got down there and he won all the cash. But
What
it
is
was good.
that?
It was a good day.
So they put a belt behind your neck,
Right.
and someone holds it,
Yeah.
and someone else is on the other side. So we're fighting, and you're pulling the. So you've
It's like
got
a little.
So you're the tug of war.
yeah.
Yeah, tug of war. Yeah, so you're doing it with your head.
Oh,
Like you join your two belts together and they wrap around your melon and you got to pull the other guy back. So like
Yeah.
over a line. to
Mate,
beat
it was
him.
an RM Williams-a-thon too.
Oh, was
Yeah,
it?
it was.
Everywhere you looked, RM Williams this.
Mate, I had a pair of Jordans on and they were looking at me like I had two heads. They're like, what? This barn's never seen a pair of Jordans. I'm like, I'm not wearing RMs. I can tell you that.
That's right. Rat, now, we were talking about the Raiders before.
Yeah.
Are they legit? Can they win this comp?
Oh, sugar. I've been on the fence, but I think I'm finally off it. I think they can.
I think they can too.
What do you think,
Yeah.
Fletch?
I'm hoping they do. It might be just a year too early for them.
I just think this. It's when I've watched the games this year. Like I mean, even Canterbury have dished up some really average performances, but I think like week in week out, as far as consistency is concerned, the Raiders are you just know what you're going to get. They're going to be tough. They're going to be gritty. They're going to be in the game. Ricky's going to have them ready to go. You got the likes of KO Weeks. He's starting to come into his own. Strange. These young fellas that are just. They're building confidence. A win like that over in New Zealand, that's going to, they'll feel 10 foot tall and bulletproof after that.
Chromie tourist. Chromie. I love the Raiders and I think they can win the comp, boys, but I'm tipping the Roosters
To win the comp.
this week.
Oh.
You know why I'm tipping them?
right.
I'll tell you why I'm tipping them.
Why?
Off a massive win. So that's what the Sharks did against the Storm, off a massive win. And they're back-to-back on the road. They've twice done it this year, back-to-back on the road, where they were ordinary against the Cowboys, got beaten.
Yep.
And the
Hang
other
on a
time,
second. Hang on. You just said you're tipping
I think they
the
can win the comp.
Roosters. Oh, you think the Roosters can win the comp?
No, I think Canberra can win the comp. I'm tipping the Roosters to beat them this week.
This weekend.
Yeah, I know, but what I'm saying, you going like the Sharks had a good win against the Raiders and they against the Storm, and they fell in a heap.
That's right.
Against the Chooks.
That's my
the
point.
Chooks just had a great win against the
Yeah,
Sharks.
I know.
Will they not fall in a heap?
No. What I'm saying is that the Raiders are back-to-back on the road. They've had to go over for a massive game in New
Right.
Zealand.
Yeah.
Now they've got to come up to Sydney for another massive game. All these players from the Roosters camp, a bit of origin experience, come back. They're up and about. And the other thing is, it's a trap for teams who've got points in the bank on their way to a bye rat. They've got the bye next week. They haven't had a bye. They've been up for a long time, this Canberra side. I think they'll be thinking, okay, let's win this. 2 weeks off, boys. And I think it's very trappy. I think the Roosters will win the game. Okay, there's me Chromie.
There's your Just let's speak about your Sharks.
Yes.
Very disappointing.
What weren't they? Just such a letdown for every fan. Just didn't fire a shot. They were never in it.
No.
Which was probably the most disappointing thing. I mean, you're going to have games where you're not at your best, but I mean they were manhandled by the Roosters.
Roosters did a great job on Fanua Blake.
Yeah, they did.
a
Didn't hear
terrific
anything
job.
from him.
No, they got it from Marker and just chopped those big Neville Beggs down.
Yeah,
It was a great game plan.
disappointing. It, after last week when they beat the Storm, I thought, geez, we're legit this year. And then you dish up that, and it throws you right back into a
Are you in
into
agreement?
a bad mood?
Are you in agreement saying that this is the most equal
Yep.
year season
Yeah,
we've had?
Yep.
I can't pick it.
It is
No
so
one can.
hard.
Well, it's proven, right? Like, boys, so this stage of the year, the team running last is the reigning premiers, and they're 1.5 wins away from 8th.
Yeah, there you go. I think they make the 8 still. Panthers.
I'd love to see it, Rat.
Nah, Cromie.
I think they
Cromie,
do. You calling it?
they're gone.
I'll go. You know what, Fletch?
They're gone.
I'll have a box of balls on it, box of tailor-made TP5s on it with you.
Okay, well, yeah, sweet. I want Mr. Wong's prawn toast.
All right, there you go.
Both which you get free. That's great.
I don't get it free. I don't get it free. No. We're on, Rat.
Rat, before you go,
Let's have a virtual handshake.
I threw out a
Beautiful.
hypothetical before. This
Yeah.
Canberra Raiders side, if you had the chance, given that Jamal Fogarty is going to Manly next year, if you had the chance to have Daly Cherry Evans or him on grand final day, who would you take?
DCE.
Yeah, thank you.
See you later, losers.
Thank you very much. Good on you, Rat.
I do love Jamal. He's a gun player, but if you're in a grand final, you got a guy who's won one before. You'd
Thank
take
you.
him.
Thank you, Rat. Thank you very much. You can save $180 over 6
years
months
ago.
with Mate Internet, the run home with Joel and Fletch.
13.
Now, Brian, my young bloke said this. He said, Dad, has there been a lack of promotion for this year's State of Origin? I sort of felt, mate, maybe it has felt a bit low than normal.
The last couple of years has felt the same.
Why?
I don't know. Can't put it. Maybe we've got too much going on.
Not enough scandal?
Maybe Mobland's too good.
Yeah.
Maybe Harry D'Souza is. I don't want to give the plot away. I don't know, but this has been an ongoing talk topic over the last couple of years. I remember you used to be able to get the flags. They were put down Moore Park Road. They have New South Wales flags leading in. But that was when the game used to be at.
But you buy them?
No, they were flags.
Oh, right. Sorry.
On the road.
Oh, past the stadium.
Past the stadium.
Yeah,
They'd have
right.
They'd have them in the city. That was when it was at the cricket ground. Or, the football stadium. Maybe.
I hadn't noticed it until he said it, and I thought, maybe, yeah, it's a pretty...
We need a story. That's what, when someone needs to go down, and as we've seen, Crichton's got a cork on his left quad.
Yeah, does that concern you at all?
No.
No?
No, not
Payne
at all.
Haas concern you?
No.
Really?
They'll play.
It screams
They will play.
screams of Payne Haas man of the match, doesn't it? It's an origin story. Hasn't trained, turns up on the game for his first run, runs 25 carries. Can you see a bit of that?
Yeah, I could, but yeah, I can see a big Moses game. I'm a little bit worried. I'm a little bit worried about these Queenslanders.
So am I, mate. Look, you think about their team. Tino's a gun. Harry Grant, Munster, Ponga.
They weren't there in the last. Well, Tino wasn't there. Munster wasn't there last year. Who else wasn't there in game?
And we still just fell in.
Yeah, that was one of the greatest Origin games we've ever seen. I've just seen this movie so many times.
I know.
Kalen is about to go berserk, and this is what I'm worried about. Like everyone's saying, they're $2.60 outsiders. They're exactly where they want to be.
Why? And 90% of the people, for my suggestion about, would you swap Daly Cherry Evans if Fogarty's going to Manly? Would you do a little swapperoo? 90% of people are saying that sounds ridiculous. But why is it so ridiculous? Billy Fogarty's not in the talk for being the halfback for Queensland.
It's
so big games, winning big games.
No.
Daly Cherry Evans one of the favourites to get man of the match in State of Origin,
Yeah,
Brian.
understand.
So you're telling me you wouldn't want him in September?
No, I want Fogarty.
Really?
Yep.
To win you the grand final.
Yeah, but you got to understand what that would do to the other people down there, the other players. Sometimes they might ostracise DCE.
They won't ostracise. Like, players are selfish. They want to win the comp.
Fogarty's going better than DCE for the Canberra Raiders. Fogarty fits.
Yeah, that's right.
Fogarty suits Canberra better than Cherry Evans.
Yes. I don't know about that. See, the 12 players, starting players around Fogarty are going a lot better than those around Daly.
I'm just not even entertaining that thought because I have a vested interest in Canberra and as a supporter of
You
them.
would not want Daly Cherry Evans.
I do not want Daly Cherry
Who could go and get the Wally Lewis medal.
Good luck to him. Hopefully he does.
Okay.
Hopefully he does. I want Fogarty
to
in
win
my
the comp,
team.
and I love Fogarty, but to win the comp in this position, like Canterbury have done with Galvin, if I could have Daly Cherry Evans, yes, please. This is a world-class player who has proven to do it. He's won a competition.
He's also 37.
Yeah, he's
36.
won a competition, and he's got a Clive Churchill and another one which they should have won. He's proven he's done it on the big stage. I love Fogarty, but he has not done at the biggest time what Daly Cherry Evans has done.
Give him a shot because I feel he might be able to do it this year.
Okay, all right, okay.
You're really pushing the DC
Well,
wagon today.
I just.
What do you want to do?
Are
you arcing up?
They're all off me. That's fine. 1300 01 1170 is the way to have your say. Speaking of Queensland, bro. In fact, let's go to Payne Haas first. Haas still appeared hampered by a quad injury, only completing a handful of tackles during the opposed session. So he still hasn't done a lot. Stefano Utukamanu, which the Blues have said he would go straight into the starting side, Stefano. So they're not going to muck around with their bench plan for Queensland. Kalen Plonga, he's declared a certain starter. DCE and Ashley Klein caught having a laugh, and to which Daly Cherry Evans had to come out and defend that.
What do you mean they had a laugh?
Well, there's photos I think you'll see of DCE and Ashley Klein having a laugh. And
hang on. In a game?
No,
or at a barbecue or at Mitch Garling's stand-up show?
Tourist, do you know where this was? Do you know where this DCE...
They were sitting in it was at Brookvale, I think. Is that right? Sammy's saying it was at Brookvale. And they were just in the seats in the stand when there was practice going on.
Yes.
If you look in your rundown now, boys, I've just put a picture of that there for you, Fletch, to have a look at. They're just chatting away and happen to have a laugh.
Yeah, so quite often clubs will bring in a referee, right, for an opposed session or something, just to try and get themselves on top of the rules exactly. So it's not unusual for this to happen. Ashley Klein has been spotted in that. For those who have been to Brookvale, as the players run out, there's a bit of a fenced-off area, a little sort of... what do you call this area, Brian? Like
they call that the race.
The race, right? And so they're sitting there having a laugh. They look quite amicable, Brian.
Yeah. But I know clubs do get referees from time to time to come in and referee scrimmages.
Yeah.
It's been going on for
forever.
And maybe they're just, smart play by DCE.
Maybe DCE said something asinine. And
he might have. They look quite convivial.
They
look quite convivial there.
They do, not cantankerous at all.
I tell you what he does do, though. Ashley Klein used to be in the stock market game.
Oh, yeah.
DCE loves stocks.
Yes.
Maybe they're chatting all things CU6.
Yes, hopefully, Brian.
Shout
hopefully.
out there to Clarity. I got a little bit of share tip, but do I have to do my chances? Are you about to lose on share tips?
I'm not sure about that. Tura said thumbs up.
Get involved, boys and girls.
All right.
Clarity Pharmaceuticals. They've got a cure for cancer. It's coming.
Yeah, okay. 1300 01 1170. DCE come out and said something along the lines of, we often have a chat about, kids misbehaving and that sort of thing. So
I wonder if their kids have ever been spiked. We've been to a bar and their drinks have been spiked.
Well, a lot of listeners are thinking my drinks have been spiked, having suggested that Daly Cherry Evans go down there for
we'll get to
Jamal
that.
Fogarty.
We'll get to that in the next break.
Okay.
Maybe you're on the enhanced games stuff.
He's not too far away around as well, Brian. Hammer's been cleared for takeoff via the Courier Mail. Maroons received a minor scare on Sunday when the Hammer suffered a knock at training and briefly set out the session to be assessed by medicos. Tabuai Fido copped a knock to his knee after colliding with a Sunshine Coast rival in an opposed session. But after leaving the field, he later returned to complete some extra, so he is all good to go. I've got to say, and they've done this for a long, long time, Steve Crawley and Joey Brom and all the team at Foxley, they just keep unearthing this new talent coming through the reins. And watching a pre-game the other day, geez, I thought this kid has got potential. Let's have a listen to this.
Anything that the Dogs need Connor Tracy to do, he does. And there's an element of class about his play. There's, despite his 3 knee reconstructions, he still runs well. He's a good mover, but he's a wholehearted player. And I think that is the secret to the Bulldogs. They don't rely on anyone or a few individuals. It is, it's the team. And Connor Tracy epitomises that.
Excuse me.
You're right.
I think it's the perfect time to take a break because Brian Fletcher is choking on his water. And also to plug his show tonight, The Late Show with Matty Jones. Let's take a break and have a look at what Fletch and Hine have been up to.
Lara. Look, Lara Pitt on fire, the ultimate professional. And you've got Greg Alexander there as well. And the up-and-comer, Sir Cough-a-Lot.
Oh, so usually I've had a coughing fit before. On radio, I've had a coughing fit.
Yep.
Yes. And you put it back on.
Yeah.
I've had one on Matty's show, and they've cut my mic.
Yes.
So you can cough.
Yeah.
Well, and because it was a wide shot, and I was looking in the monitor, and I could still see I'm on camera. I'm going, I'm trying to cover my mouth, and then it just got too much for me. And I had to get. So Cooper Cronk just losing it across from me, but Lara did so well. She did so well.
I've been in that scenario before. Like you're looking at that monitor, and you're trying to get off monitor so you can give them the indication. Like, I'm out. Don't come to me.
I was trying to cover my mic, but that makes it worse because then you can hear it go.
Oh, yes.
Oh, anyway, it was interesting.
Yeah.
Doing that 90 minutes. You've got to, Jesus, you've got to be on the ball.
I've got another Mickey too, by the way. So Kobe and I went and saw Mission Impossible. Which
is it good?
Well, yeah, it was okay. It was good. Yeah, it was good. It was pretty good.
Oh, you're not selling it.
No, well, I'm not into that stuff so much, but it was nice to go and just relax on a Saturday. Anyway, I've got to say, so Tom Cruise, you'd probably be shocked by this, and this is not a spoiler alert, but early on you're thinking, I checked live betting on the Sportsbet app, 100 to 1 to get the job done.
Oh, is it too far-fetched?
No, I'm just saying it was good odds at the time. I'm not telling you what happened, but the 100 to 1 early, you'd be shocked by that, Brian.
Is he on, because he's done his motorbike scenes, he's jumping off roofs, he does all his own stunts.
Yeah.
Is he on a building? Because he froths a building.
No building.
He froths a rope into a window.
No building.
Okay.
No building.
Right.
It's good, though.
Yeah.
Very clever. It's very clever. They're very clever how they do it.
The franchise, it makes money.
How many of them they done?
Oh, I'm going to say 8 at least.
I looked at the highest ranking 300 films on Rotten Tomatoes, and one of the Mission Impossibles was like top 10.
Yeah, there was one was unreal. But they're just trying to do the same sort of thing.
Yeah, but it was nice. It was nice. It was
no,
good.
there's 9.
There's been 9.
8.
That's 8 I put up there.
Oh,
okay.
Who does 8 like that?
2 4s.
Oh, saying you with the weird finger.
I did 2 4s.
No one does that.
No one does 4.
2 4s.
That's 8.
No.
That's 8.
Okay, listen.
Foul number 8.
Listen,
push.
He's holding up 8, but he's covered his
no
thumbs. No thumbs. You don't do that 5 and 3.
How about
it's not the Simpsons. Haven't the Simpsons all got 4 fingers? Is that?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not the Simpsons.
And Queenslanders. My Michael is Terrell May.
Oh.
I had never met him, and he was on the show last night. We're walking out of the green room, about to go on air, and I said to him, Terrell, because he had his man bag on, the satchel.
Yeah.
And I said, mate, do you want me to put it in the green room? He goes, no. I said, what are you going to do? I'm wearing it.
What?
And I said, oh, okay. He goes, yeah, I'm just wear it. I never let it go.
No.
So he walked up on stage. He is when people say he's an individual, I love it. He does not give a rat's about what anyone thinks.
No.
He just does his own thing, and it was quite refreshing. So he was just sitting there with his man bag.
Oh,
just sitting there.
mate.
And then we came on, and I had to address it.
Yep.
I said, this is the first. We haven't had anyone here with a man bag. I go, what's in there? And he goes, I got my camera.
Yeah.
Because he vlogs.
Oh, does he?
Yeah, he's a mad vlogger.
Yeah.
Keeps his phone in there, keeps his wallet.
Yeah.
Because he goes, I don't like having pockets and stuff.
No,
which
right.
is
Yeah.
quite smart.
Yeah.
But we asked him about that incident while he was on Twitch.
Yep.
And what had happened was he bought this. So I'm going to clear it up for you all. He bought his best mate a New South Wales jumper because his mate's a Queenslander.
Yes.
He says, if I get picked for Origin, you have to wear it. And because he's he's gaming, and it's this, you can see the comments coming up.
So can I ask you a question on that? Is this a verbal thing or is it a written thing?
It's a written thing.
Written thing.
So he's playing his game, and he plays all. It's not around the world. It's all in Southeast Asia.
Like Fortnite or something like that, is it?
Call of Duty's his
Call
go.
of Duty,
yeah,
right.
COD. Calls
Right.
it COD. I thought COD meant something else. Heine's got one in his pants.
Hey.
And,
What?
oh, yeah.
Good on you,
Sea
son.
of death. And, and
PU.
so what happened was it was it was coming through that he wasn't going to make the team. There was news coming out of the camp.
Yes.
And so he said to his mate, Bobby, mate, you may as well throw that New South Wales jumper I gave you in the bin.
Yes.
And people took that out of context thinking that it was his own. And so he I said, why don't you clear it out? And he goes,
Rats given.
Rats. I know what I said.
Well, you know what? So more Mickeys to come. And my Mickey, by the way, is Brandy, who he said, mate, where you going on holiday? It's like, why have you got that carry-on luggage with you? That was my Mickey. But
What was that?
Like, Brandy kind of said.
Oh, this morning.
Brandy was there apparently last night.
To see.
No, he must have been finishing up his.
He was on the panel,
I didn't
Sunday
know.
ticket.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And he saw Terrell with the man bag or whatever you call it.
Yeah.
He says, what are you doing? Are you going on holiday somewhere?
Wasn't he trying to be smart?
No. He just. And so I thought straight away. As soon as I heard that Terrell May was going on your program, I thought, okay, this is the PR stunt. It's been a rough week in the media. They're going to button things up, and this is what I'm really like, and blah, 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 blah. And he just turns up with the man bag, and I thought, this bloke does not give a rat's.
You're still here? We'll see more on the Joel and Fletch socials and catch us live on SEN Radio. Because if you don't, you're an A grade. But if you do, you're the absolute Mickey.